Hey everybody, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. You're looking at my dirty little garden table. And I have some rubbing alcohol, and I've got my pruners, and I have some cotton balls. Now, I'm not going to use all the cotton balls. In fact, I'm probably just going to hold most of them in my special pocket, and I'm just going to use the one cotton ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to one-handedly open this. I'm going to spray it and knock things over, hey, sounds like fun. And I'm going to go ahead and spray these off. I'm just going to spray them, and then I'm going to flip them, and then I'm going to spray them again. And I need to fill my bottle back up with some more. Now my clippers are kind of dirty, and so I'm going to gently try to do this one-handedly without hurting myself. And then it'd be nice if I had like a tripod, like a one that's actually working good. All right, so I've cleaned them off, and they're stained, so that's okay, but they're nice and clean. You can kind of see them all shiny now. And we're gonna go and we're gonna do some pruning. So I'm just gonna gently set them down for a second. They are up off the table, so they're not like getting dirty. You guys, they weren't laying, the blades weren't touching the table when I set it down. So they're clean. So we're gonna go and we're gonna trim that one branch on the apricot tree. And I wanted to show you guys me doing it. And generally I do this stuff when I'm not, I'm not filming when I'm pruning. So I figured I'd go ahead and do that today with you guys. And I'm going to show you exactly which one I'm going to prune. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to prune it. I actually see one more that I want to prune. I'm going to be pruning any of the branches that are facing down towards the ground. And this one right here is growing in a downward direction, and so I'm actually going to clip that off. And my pruners are so dull, you guys. If you have any idea on how you can sharpen your pruners, I would really greatly appreciate it, because I don't really have the money to go out and purchase new equipment a whole lot. And so I might be able to try to find a way to budget it in somehow. But yeah, if you know of any way to sharpen clippers, I would greatly appreciate it. I might even go to Pinterest and look it up. But this one right here, this little tiny one, is also pointing down. I'm going to remove that one too. So that one is done. And I'm just going to take a look at the rest of the branches and just look and see if there's any others that are pointing in a downward position. And this one looks like it might be growing in a downward position, but I'm going to leave it alone for now. And because I don't want to do a whole lot to the tree. But this little branch looks like the end has died, and it is pointing down. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that one too. And so now that one is gone. So I'm only going to do that. That's it. I pruned this little tree heavily last year, and to the point where I probably should not have pruned it to the extent that I did, and I damaged the poor little baby so much. And like I said in my previous videos, I'm a newbie to growing, and I'm experimenting, and I'm just learning. And so I don't really want to do a whole lot more to my poor little apricot tree. So I'm just going to be doing that much right now. And when it starts putting on leaves in the spring, I will check over my tree again and see if there's any branch tips that had died in the winter. And at that point, when I start seeing budding and leafing, I will trim away anything that's dead and has died, and so or that looks diseased at all. And so do it always with clean pruners, you guys. Yeah, these ones, they do need to be sharpened pretty good, but they still work and they still get the job done, so I'm not so worried about it too much at this point. But if you guys have any tips on how to sharpen these, I would greatly appreciate it, because I really don't like spending money on something when I already have a tool that maybe I could sharpen. And so there's that. And then I'll show you my other apricot tree, you guys. So here is the other apricot tree, and right now I don't see anything I really need to do. I do see some limbs on it, but like I'll zoom in here. Like this one here, it does look like it might be dead because it's lost all of its color, like all the way up to about here. And then it's the tree color again, and a few of these are like that, and I figured that would happen in the winter here because I noticed it last year on this tree too. And so I do see some that look like they might have died, and so I will do the same thing with this tree in the spring when I start seeing branches come on. And like I had said in some of my last videos, I pruned on this one but not quite as heavy this last year, and so I'm going to be upgrading them into my purple pot, so I'll be cleaning those out and putting fresh dirt in where I need to. I'll be fluffing up the root systems on both of these this year, planting them into a little bit bigger pot, just making sure that they're not root bound, trimming away any excess like any damaged roots or anything that looks like it needs to be refreshed. You guys, think about when you're growing in container pots, you need to really make sure that your root balls are not strangling the tree. And since I am growing in container pots and I don't know when I will be putting these into the ground, because I do want to take them with me whenever I move, I will be keeping them in container pots. And so I'm not planning on planting them in the ground. So it's really, really important, you guys, that you make sure that your root balls are not wrapping around and girdling the plant and strangling it and killing it. And so just like they do with bonsai trees and that sort of thing, they always will tease the roots out and open them up. And so I will be doing the same thing with all of my trees periodically, just to make sure they are not strangling themselves. And, you know, it's not like, you know, when you plant a tree in the ground, it's just going to grow naturally and it's going to grow big and tall and what have you. But I really want my trees to stay small anyways. And so for me, it's okay that they don't get super big, or, you know, they'll say, you know, your tree's not going to be as strong, you know, and big and all of that if you don't get them in the ground right away and all this and all that. And they're right. But I'm not going to worry about that because that's not my goal at this point in time. When it comes to when I do have an orchard or something like that, yes, I'll invest money into like, say, the things that I want in my orchard, but right now I'm just growing to find out what I like. And these were seeds that I had gotten when I was in Germany, so that's why I'm doing it this way. And I'm planning